Hello guys, this is Donzia and you are welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I want to teach you in depth what you have to know about lifting suspension on your NIN. I mean your suspended NIN, ways in which you can lift the suspension on it and what you need to know about the categories in which your own NIN that was suspended fall into, so that you can know the approach to lift the suspension on it. So without taking much of our time, I'm going to take you through the processes and what you can do to get it lifted. So make sure and stick to the end. Don't forget to subscribe. You know, it means a lot. So these are basically the types of NIN that get suspended. They fall into the categories they fall into. You know, I did not number it, but you can see the space: one, two, three, four, 5. So those are it. So now the BVN generated NIN, which is BVN that was done for you at the bank. You know, there are some old users that have BVN that was linked to their NIN, like the NIN was embedded into their BVN automatically by the bank. They opened their BVN. So those are BVN generated NIN. So those ones, they tend to be automatically suspended most of the time. So we have to turn it to normal NIN. I mean, do normal enrollment to turn into normal NIN before you can now do any kind of changes or anything on it. So that is about the BVN generated NIN. So you can do the modification virtually, but it depend on the type of BVN generated NIN that was done for you or did for you. Any which way you find it. Okay, maybe it was non-appearance BVN they did for you before. It's possible. So that one is a fly. But mostly it is always, as in, effective. Don't let me lie to you. It is always more effective to have your BVN generated NIN re-enroll physically, so that you can thumbprint and capture and everything will be accurate. So your BVN tracking ID will turn to normal tracking ID. The NIN showing on my screen here is actually a BVN generated NIN. I have to show you an example of what I'm talking about so that you can see it. As you can see, it has been suspended already, and the reason why it was actually suspended is not far-fetched from the fact that it is actually a BVN generated NIN. So as you can see here, it starts with BVN 0221 and BVN 221. There is 0. The first 0 is insignificant. So it is the 221 that is, that starts it. So that's it, about BVN generated NIN. So if you have your physical enrollment done, so the NIN will turn to the tracking ID we change from BVN to, all the 16 or 17 characters of with combination of number and alphabet. So that's what makes tracking ID. Okay, now The second one on the list is NIN combo and name modification or DOP NIN that are actually suspended. So there are some movable machine like they look like a regular machine for registration. They use it in SIM registration and NIN registration, even BVN registration by some people. So if your NIN just got suspended, you did not change any information on it or anything, one day you just find it suspended. So just have it at your back of your mind that okay it's possible for you to lift the suspension on it successfully without even stepping out of your comfort zone. You know, it can be done literally, virtually, non-appearance. So it can be done. And if it is name modification you have done on it before or DOB, even the type of BOD that you carry out on it determines how fast it is going to be, approved. Let us assume you changed only a month in your date of birth, like a month or maybe a day. There is a mistake, a day. Those one dey fly. But if it's a date of birth that you change everything, month, day and year, like everything you change it together, you backdate it, try to downgrade your age, reduce it. So there's a tendency that if it got suspended, you will have to know your old date of birth, I mean your original date of birth that you changed to the new one. So because remitter fee and attestation will be done on your behalf before the DOB can be, you know, fill and you thumbprint and do everything. After doing all those things, they will approve it and your suspension is going to get lifted. That's if you know, if you really know the information, the previous information. I'm talking about DOB that you remember the previous information. So if it is name modification, if you change all your names, your first name, your beginning name and your last name, it also applies to you. But if you just maybe one or two, you change maybe your first name and your middle name, so you are free. The suspension can get lifted remotely. So and this take us to the last on the list, those NIN that we did when you are still small. You know, you are going to be 16. If you enroll for your NIN when you are 16 and above, you fall under the categories of an adult. But if it is from age 1 to 14, 15, then it's a minor, I mean children enrollment. So eventually the NIN will get suspended even if you have not do any kind of modification on it before anything. It's going to get suspended. So now if it is children NIN, I mean minor NIN, we have to do modification on it. Okay, migration. That modification we call it migration, from adult migration, from children to adults. Then doing that, we enable them to change your information, whether you want to change it or store anything you want to do to modify the NIN. In doing so, it will be the suspension will be lifted on it and you'll be able to use your NIN basically. So I don't want to make this video more than lengthy or stuff like that. That's why I just decided to, short it down a little bit without too much, should I say, graphic display or stuff like that, sha. So that's just it, sha. If you have any question, comment below and I will answer it to the best of my knowledge. And don't forget, if you contact me via my email, I can get the suspension lifted for you, but at a fee. Exactly. So that's it. Remotely. I can do it remotely. So I will have shown you some jobs that I did done for people, But YouTube might tend to take down this video if personal information is being shared too much, I'll face the consequence whereby I don't want to do too much. So that's why. See you in my next video. Peace out.